Hello, welcome to the Drive Fitness Podcast. Today my guest is Samantha Ross. Samantha is a personal trainer, and her and I sit down to discuss what it takes to get certified and what her experience as a personal trainer was like. She has also started her own company that provides the loved ones of military members with workout programs. The company is called Waiting for Warriors, spelled WEIGHT, and you can find them on Instagram. Before we get started, I want to let everyone know that we have just released the latest update of our Drive Fitness app. You can check it out on the App Store and the Google Play Store. Okay, enjoy episode 4 with Samantha Ross. Good, how are you today?
I'm good. Working hard.
Yeah, me too. How's the quarantine treating you?
It's okay. It's a little bit boring. I'm kind of ready for things to go back to normal, but, staying safe.
I feel that, but it sounds like you've taken this time to start your own business. Is that correct?
It's correct. Yes, we are on our way.
That is so exciting. Yeah, because there's two reasons I really wanted to bring you on today. One is because you're starting your own business, and the other one is because you're a personal trainer. Do you mind if we start talking about that?
Yeah, of course. So basically, I live in New York when I'm not on a contract. So my main job is a performing artist. I'm a dancer, actor, and singer full time. So when I'm not doing that on a contract, I live in New York City, Upper East Side, East Harlem, but I say Upper East Side because it's nicer. And I used to work at Equinox. That was my first full-time job as a personal trainer. Okay. Now I'm currently a freelance personal trainer because that just fits better with my schedule. Obviously, as a performer, if I'm traveling the country but still want to have clientele, I do that, with online training programs. I keep in touch with my clients every week. Right now, I have around 9 or 10 clients that I work with, and they have my programs at home, and it's great. I started off about 3 years ago. I was doing front desk at a gym in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. And I thought to myself, every time I saw the personal trainers, I'm like, wow, I should be one of those. I shouldn't be doing front desk. I should be a personal trainer. Fitness became my lifestyle. It just coincides with, it goes well with a dancer. I had a lot of injuries, and training really helped me out. Lifting weights really helped me out with those injuries. I have a really bad back, and deadlifting became my best friend around 3 years ago. So I decided to get my personal training license. There's a lot out there. So if anyone is planning on getting their license, I would say go with ACE or NASM. I went with NASM. It's great. It's a lot of hard work. It's like going back to school, basically, for kinesiology and all that. But it's great. I learned a lot. And so I then got hired at Equinox, and they, on their own, have another whole personal training kind of schooling there. And that really helped me out. I would say to any personal trainer, if they want the best bet, to try to work at Equinox, because they basically give you free training and it never stops. There's always learning. There's tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and on. And there's always learning and more learning within those tiers, which is really cool. So yeah, it's great.
Wait, let me ask a couple questions about these tiers. So what does tier 1 mean exactly?
At Equinox, you basically, as a trainer, you start at tier 1. Okay. And once you complete the criteria needed for tier 1, you have your personal training certificate, you do all these things, including, working there and having starting to have your client base and completing a certain amount of hours working on the floor, etc. Okay. You then go to tier 2. Okay. And each tier kind of has their own specialty and thing, and it's really great. I mean, even though I don't work at Equinox anymore, I miss it dearly, and I would say I learned the most from them, and I learned the most from the trainers around me and my coworkers and my boss. And yeah, but personal training has changed my life, obviously, and it's the best job ever.
Okay, so I've never actually been to Equinox. What kind of gym is Equinox again? Isn't it a specialty gym?
So it's a luxury gym. Okay. So it's awesome. Wow. It's bougie, as they would say. But yeah, it's great. All of them are different. They have really good facilities. They have really good training. Obviously, as I just said, if they're training their personal trainers nonstop, you know something good is happening. Their group fitness is great. They also train their group fitness instructors.
Okay.
There's always opportunities for workshops and all that.
What were some of your favorite group fitness workouts?
Oh, there was one, I don't remember what it was called, but it was kind of like an AMRAP situation. So it was just 45 on and 15 off, and it was just, you kept going for like 30 minutes, but I would sweat, and I would get the best workout ever.
What is AMRAP?
So AMRAP is a workout, and it's 45 seconds on, 15 off.
Is it on a treadmill or?
No, of any. So it's, say we were doing squat jumps. Got a squat jump. So say you were in a squat, you jump up. That's one. So you do as many reps of that exercise as you can within 45 seconds. And then you take a 15-minute rest, and then you move on.
So is this a circuit and you're constantly moving on to another exercise?
Yeah, you can move on to another. And, they're all kind of different. And then similar to that, there's an EMOM. So that's every minute on the minute. So that would be if you were doing a squat jump and they said do 20 squat jumps. And for the rest of that minute, that's your rest time. So you would, complete those as fast as you could within 1 minute. And then you would use the rest of that minute to rest. And then the next minute, you would move on to a lunge. Okay. So on. So Equinox had a lot of group fitness classes that were kind of based in those styles, which was,
that's interesting.
Which was really cool. And the facilities were awesome. The bathrooms were beautiful. I mean, it was great. They had eucalyptus towels. Yeah, but it's a great company. I'm super happy that that's how I started out with this. It's created, I would say it's shaped me into the personal trainer that I always wanted to be. And I have so much to learn, but I would say, that's my foundation, and I owe a lot to them.
Yeah, I really liked what you said about repeated training their trainers, so you're never quite done learning. I think that's really great. It probably keeps those trainers from getting complacent with their job. And I think that's really interesting.
It's really important too, because, that's the key. The body, everyone's body is so different, and personal trainers, I feel like, get caught up in, they find these workouts that they love giving to other people, so they'll stick with that. But I think someone's a good personal trainer when you know that they are personalizing the movements and the things that they're giving to you and the feedback, personalizing it for you and for your body and for your mental state and for everything that you are about.
So they don't just have like a general prescription for everybody. Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, so owe it all to Equinox.
Okay, so let's take a step back and talk about the personal training certification. I know you already mentioned it, but what did you say? NASM? Can you please go over those one more time?
NASM is great. And that's just, it's awesome. There's a lot of information. I would say NASM and ACE, they have the most, I would say, science-based curriculum. So you go in and, you learn about muscle fibers and things that someone that maybe, wasn't trained by one of those certifications, and maybe like a really easy one for $20 online. I don't know, and I don't want to judge because I don't know all of the certifications out there. But my advice to someone that would say, hey, I want to get my certification, it would be to probably go with NASM or ACE.
Okay. Which one did you use?
I did NASM. Okay. I will say they are expensive, but you have to think about it as in you're training. This is your job. So think about how much we all paid for college and all that. You're paying to hopefully gain it back one day. And if you do it in the right way, I would say that they're very much so worth it, worth the money.
It really sounds like it's worth the investment.
And right now during this time, why not sign up for a $300 certification and learn about the human body and then go take the test and be a during this time, why not learn something new?
How long does it take to get certified?
My understanding is once you get by that certification, you have a certain amount of days that you have to study. So you have to study, you have to take these online tests, you have to do a certain thing for that program. It's around 60 to 80 days, I believe. After those days, you can go take the test at a testing center. My partner currently is getting his NASM certification. He said to me the other day, he believes that right now, because of Corona, there's a chance to do it online as well, the final test, which is pretty crazy. So I would say to get certified, it's 80 to 100 days that you're going to be putting work into that. But it's super interesting, it's not boring stuff. Because if you're genuinely interested in the human body and what you can do to make, goodness out of the human body. It's super cool. It's super fun. Yeah.
So is almost all of the certification like classroom type learning, or are there any hands-on training that you get to do?
All these certifications are online. And then the only time you're really in this classroom studio is the test. And that's why I would say, to bring it back to Equinox was mostly hands-on, was mostly doing things that were so out of my comfort zone, so out of most of these people's comfort zones. And it was awesome. They would make us go to classrooms at other Equinox locations. I would meet coworkers from all different locations in New York City. And we would, learn exercises standing up. Half the time we weren't even sitting down, which at the time I was like, ugh. But, now it's like, it's super cool that they were able to do that for us. And that was free training. I mean, I was getting paid at Equinox and I had that training. So yeah, that was really cool. Yeah. And I mean, advice is just to definitely get certified. Don't walk into a gym and think that you can become a personal trainer and that might work at some gyms, that might work, but just take my word for it. You want to be certified and you want to know the most you can possibly know. You want to always keep learning. You want to go to workshops. I went to kettlebell workshops. I went to TRX workshops. I've been to prenatal things. Like, it's super, super interesting.
Yeah, I think that's a great mindset to have for honestly anything in life. You're never done learning. You can always make improvements. And I think that's beautiful that Equinox kind of instilled that mindset in you.
Absolutely.
So can you tell me a little bit about what is it like to work with clients? What are their goals? Do most people come in for weight loss, or do you have anybody come in who's interested in strength training?
Your demographic is going to really determine, what kind of clientele you're getting. So remember, I was at Equinox in Upper East Side. So I was working with a lot of doctors. I was working with a lot of lawyers. I was working with people that made a good amount of money. And therefore, so the toned and weight loss thing is definitely, I would say, the goal that I hear the most. I did work with a couple of men that were seeking to be stronger and, get those numbers up on like what weight they were able to lift and carry. I had some clients that had health issues and they wanted to have a trainer to know that they were, doing things correctly and that were okay for their, condition. So that's what I saw the most at Equinox. And now my clients currently, they all have different goals. Tone, weight loss, the whole thing.
You've started a company called Waiting for Warriors, right?
Yep.
Spelled waiting like WEIGHT.
Yes.
And can you tell us a little bit about your company?
Of course. Yeah. So basically, background, my boyfriend is in the United States Army.
Okay.
And so we started dating about a year ago, and I always had this dream of opening a personal training business. So here it is. I went with it.
Okay.
So basically the goal of our business is to provide for physical fitness and mental well-being of the loved ones and, families and friends of military personnel across the globe.
Okay.
So, that refers to parents, girlfriends, spouses, all that. And also civilians that are, patriotic and support the military, right? We're trying to also blend the gap between civilians and military families and friends and all that. So we're going to try to cater these programs towards what the soldier is doing at that time.
Oh, cool.
So for instance, right now we're working on our basic training program. So it's going to be called Not So Basic.
Wow.
And that is
I like it.
So that's a 9-week program that if your son or if your boyfriend or if your girlfriend or if your friend was going into basic training, you could buy this program and you will be working on things that your soldier is going through at basic training.
That's cool.
While doing a program, with Waiting for Warriors. Yeah.
So when I first saw this online, I was imagining like wives and girlfriends. But when you just said son, I think that's a great, I think moms would really like to follow along, and do some sort of workout program involving, their son who's in the military. That's really cool. So can you tell me a little bit about your story then? So how often is your boyfriend, deployed versus at home?
he graduated from West Point last May.
Okay.
And he was then stationed at Fort Benning for a little bit where he underwent IBOLIC. So it's just a basic officer's course that you have to take, and he's an officer coming out of West Point.
Okay.
So he's an infantry officer. Infantry is like the main, they're the guys that are, basically going into combat.
Okay.
And so he's an infantry officer. He is at Fort Benning currently.
Okay.
He then went to Ranger School in the winter. So Ranger School is a very, very hard military school.
Okay.
It's 61 plus days, and it's tough. It's tough.
Okay.
And there's basically no communication between the soldier and the outside world.
Oh, wow.
We survived off of letters for 89 days, I think it was.
Okay.
And
that's romantic.
it was, romantic. Yeah. Most people say that. Most people are like, that's really cute. I'm like, is it?
You're like, no.
No, it wasn't. But no. So, but I have to just say I am so proud of him.
It's a romantic gesture, I
guess. It's a romantic gesture. Of
yeah.
course. Yes. I'm super proud of him. So now he is Ranger qualified, right?
Yeah.
So he is an infantry officer who is Ranger qualified. So right now he's going to airborne school currently.
Okay.
And after airborne school at Fort Benning, he will then PCS, so move for 5 years to Fort Bragg.
Okay.
Once he gets to Bragg, he is hoping to deploy.
Okay.
So the deployments keep getting pushed because of everything going on, but we're thinking August, September, he'll be deployed.
Okay.
Those are around 9 months right now. So starting a business together, definitely when we started this whole thing, we spoke about how it was going to be a thing, that he was going to be leaving for a while and so on. But right now we can talk to each other when he's on deployment, not nearly as much as we can here.
Okay. And so when he's deployed, do you like to kind of change your workout program to stuff that he's doing? Is that kind of how this all started?
So this all started when he was at Ranger School.
Okay.
Honestly, one night I was alone in my New York City apartment, and there's a Ranger Facebook group with all the wives and husbands, anyone that has a kid or boyfriend or girlfriend going through Ranger School, they can go to this group and just ask questions, so on.
Okay.
And I'm looking at this group and I'm wondering to myself, who else in this group is using fitness right now to like really help them through this, right? So I'm in New York City. I'm basically by myself, and I was having the time of my life, living it up with my friends, but I missed Will, obviously, right? And fitness has saved my life in many ways, and I would say fitness when he was at Ranger School really saved me in many ways, right? So I thought to myself, this sucks, and I would love to help girls and guys going through this in the long run. I would love for someone to say, we have a training program that you have to work on push-ups, pull-ups, and a 12-mile ruck. A ruck, for those people that don't know, is basically you're carrying all your ruck, you're carrying your gear, and it's a walk, but it's definitely not a walk in the park. It's hard, right?
Okay.
And that's what they have to do at Ranger School. They have to do a 12-mile ruck. They have to do pull-ups. They have to do push-ups. So I thought to myself, it would be really cool if I created something with Will, knowing his knowledge and mine, that could allow people to kind of have this, it makes you feel connected. It makes you feel connected to another person when you're like, hey, I got 15 push-ups when you were gone.
Yeah.
I mean, that's cool. That's huge, right? Like, I got 20 pull-ups while you were at Ranger School. Imagine a dad who couldn't do one pull-up before his son left. He comes home exhausted, tired, missing his family, and his dad's like, I got 30 pull-ups. That's cool, right?
Yeah.
So
it's also I did 2 years of long distance in college,
right?
And I feel like it's sometimes hard to come up with new conversations every day, right?
Absolutely.
It's a challenge. How was your day? How are you doing?
Yep.
But now you have this topic point, right, to talk about. Oh, let's talk about your workout program. Let's talk about my workout program.
Yeah.
Let's compare. Let's make progress.
Yeah.
I think it's very healthy for not only your body, right, but your relationship, just conversation, to be focused on a healthy point of view.
Right. Absolutely. And
So
we want to create. We don't just want to be a personal training business. We want to be a community. Our that is our true goal, is to become this community that people refer to. So our release date is Independence Day, and we have 5 programs coming out on Independence Day. And they refer, there's one for special ops. So that's if you're significant other or loved one is going to, school to be a Navy SEAL, Ranger, anything like that. We're going to have a 12-week program for all of that. And that's going to be awesome. We have one for deployments, right? So that's a 9-month program. That's a lot of fitness given to you. But for 9 months, when your loved one is deployed, you will be able to connect with us. And that's our true goal here, is to create this community for your physical well-being, your mental well-being, learning more about the military, learning more about yourself and the community around you. Because I will say, my last thing about this is I have the best support group ever of family and friends, but I can honestly tell you, I don't have a lot of friends that have military girlfriends, boyfriends, spouses, etc.
Okay.
And I really, really want to meet people that have gone through the things I'm going through as well, right? I want to grow with this business. Will wants to grow within this business as well. And I think creating this community for everyone would be really, really cool and rewarding, and just really great for every branch in the military. Yeah.
No, I agree. I think that connecting with, like-minded people, during those time periods is one of the best ways to get through it.
Absolutely.
So can we talk a little bit more, like, specifically about the workout plans that you're going to be releasing?
Yeah.
So do they come with, like, videos to help, or is it just a list of workouts to do? What kind of format do your users get when they sign up for a workout plan?
So right now we have one program out, and that was kind of just like a gift to everyone for going through this
what is that
quarantine. So this is called Homefront.
Okay.
And Homefront is a 6-week program. It's all body weight based, right?
Okay.
So you don't need any weights. You can add weight. But
so you guys cooked this up, right? For the quarantine.
We cooked it up for the quarantine. We were not planning on releasing anything until Independence Day. And then we thought to ourselves, why not, right? Why not? So that's kind of what we thought about starting this whole business. So we created Homefront, and it's super exciting. So that's on our Shopify account. That's in our Instagram bio. So that is a 6-week program that's all body weight based, as I said. And within it, there's things that people in the military have to work on as well. Push-ups, all those types of things. But our main focus right now, because we released that, is our 5 programs that we are releasing July 4th. And those are a program for basic training.
Okay.
A program for special ops. A program for a deployment.
Okay.
A program for you and your soldier, which is called Battle Buddy.
Okay.
And then a program for prenatal. So anyone that is pregnant can have this program. So especially it's going to be beneficial if your husband is overseas and you're pregnant. We're really working towards that. I have a friend, her name is also Samantha, and she's working on that program because she has her prenatal certification. So within those programs, you receive it, you buy it on our website, and then you receive it. Currently,
what is it that you receive?
So it's currently a PDF, and within that PDF, there's the plan. There's a calendar for the plan.
Okay.
There's a video of me doing the warm-up. It's a universal warm-up for all of Waiting for Warriors clients.
Okay.
And then within that is going to be your plan with videos and photos.
Nice.
Yeah. So we're in the process of, right now it's a little bit difficult getting a videographer, all that, to our area because of everything, but we're really, really, really pushing to have videos for every single workout.
Okay.
And we're going to also try to work on having a glossary of these videos. So if you buy a program with us, you then can have this glossary for free that has every single workout that's within your program.
Okay.
That's videotaped. Explanations of each program. And the reason it's so different is that we have military facts. We have facts that are, being thrown at you. We have challenges. We have things that are being thrown at you in these programs that most programs don't offer. And there are things that you can relate to with your soldier.
Okay. So you get a PDF. It details the whole plan, right? You get calendar dates. You get all the workouts you're going to do. And then you get a set of videos that they show you how to do each workout. And there's a bunch of information in there about what your soldier or warrior is doing while they're in their deployment. And there's an option to, is there like videos that explain that too, or is that mostly detailed in the PDF?
That's mostly detailed in the PDF. I think that, we're still exploring and we're still experimenting, and something that I'm sure you've seen, but on our Instagram page is where it's called our Intel. Okay. And we're releasing trivia and information about different branches and what they do, and just really fun facts, cool facts that a lot of people don't know, right? So those things are going on our Instagram account right now. And, come time to the release date, I think that we're going to try to add in a bunch of things that, are facts. But yeah, those probably will not be videos as of now. Those things are still, we're still learning. We're still growing.
You're focusing on getting all the workouts into video format first.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool.
And we are also focused on having a regeneration. So every Sunday is kind of our client's day to have a regeneration day, which refers to, really focusing on relaxing, stretching, yoga, however you want to do that. So we might add in a video there, but I guess people are just going to have to purchase it to see.
Okay, that's very exciting. It's very exciting. So I like to ask every guest who comes on my show a little bit about technology and how they think it could change our fitness lives in the next couple decades. I've noticed that you posted a lot of boxing videos online. I was wondering if you think that there's any sort of way that, technology could enhance boxing.
Yeah, I mean, that's an awesome question. So Will is an Army boxer, and we have this goal within the next couple of years to perhaps put out a boxing program. Okay. It's a little bit difficult because we don't want to do like a kickboxing situation, like a peppy cardio video, right? We're trying to avoid that and stay with that hardcore vibe that we have, right? So but technology could definitely help. I think we were talking earlier about how you were saying it would be cool to have boxing mitts that could be, kind of the TV or computer could pick up how hard you were punching or something along those lines. That's an awesome idea. It's kind of, that reminds me of, remember DDR? Like you would dance on a mat in the TV.
Dude, I was going to say that. I was going to say that.
Right. So that's a great idea. And I think that would be something a lot more accurate than just giving someone a boxing program, right? Yeah. Because when most people think boxing, and I learned this, Will's going to watch this podcast and laugh because he's taught me most of what I know, and how hard you hit is definitely not what defines you as a great boxer. It's more about how you're using your whole body, your footwork. Defense is huge in boxing, which most people wouldn't think of. So if there was a way to connect, what your upper body core kind of thing was doing as well as with gloves, that could really enhance the way boxing is taught over some digital product.
If the power you kind of put into each punch doesn't matter, I feel like all we would need is like a small sensor on each glove, right? Right. That could recognize whether it's hit or not. Right. And then it's so funny you said this because I was literally going to bring up like Guitar Hero or Dance Dance Revolution. Yeah. Because I did like one boxing class, right? And it was like these patterns they teach you are really important, you know? Like left, left, right or whatever. And so I did imagine exactly what you're saying of like a bunch of boxing, like instructions coming at you in like the form of like a DDR, and you're punching something and like learning different patterns in that regards.
That's a really great idea.
I know.
I'm like, now that you're saying it, I'm like, wow, can you? Yeah. I will not be the one to figure it out, technically speaking, but so there's six types of punches, six basic types of punches, that you throw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that would be, it would be, cross, jab, hook, uppercut. And, that's a great idea. And I think the Guitar Hero is kind of more along the lines because that was based off of something you were holding. Yeah. So I think absolutely with like a PlayStation or Xbox, something with boxing. I don't know if it's created yet. Do you know if there's a game?
I feel like this should be created already.
I feel like this should be created.
We might be talking about something that exists, so my bad if we are.
Yeah, right. But if we're not, then don't take the idea.
That's part of the reason I do this podcast is because I have like a lot of ideas about all these different types of fitness, right? For like putting sensors and smart equipment, and I'm not going to be able to build it all. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I just kind of want to put these ideas out there. And man, if you want to work on some smart gloves or anyone else does, like, it's not going to bug me. Like, I'd rather this stuff to just get created, you know?
Right.
And then so I can use it, you know?
I mean, smart gloves, and that's a great name too, smart gloves. That's a great idea. I can't wait to share that with Will because he'll definitely be like, oh yeah. Or he'll be like, that's already thought of.
Yeah. He'd be like,
but
dude,
who knows?
we
Yeah,
already have that. But I don't know if you guys want to work on that. I don't know that.
Yeah.
I would use them for sure.
Yeah. So you have an app, like you have an app, right?
Uh-huh.
And does that have anything like that on the app, or are
not yet? So eventually, I kind of imagine this app to take place in some sort of gym, right, where everything is tracked automatically. But right now, we're just refining the software, and everything's user input.
Okay.
So, you know, the weight you lift, the distance you run on cardio, all that stuff is the user puts it into the app. And then eventually I want to start working towards the fact where you just jump on a treadmill, you go home, and like you look and the information's there. Okay. And the challenging part for me and what I've kind of decided to spend my life focusing on is the weight training, because I think it's going to be very hard for you to pick up like a pair of dumbbells, you know, do 10 reps and have, you know, your app know that automatically. And like what specifically it's going to be difficult differentiating between like, well, were those hammer curls, you know, were you doing
the type of movement?
Yeah, what type of movement you're doing for all these weight training activities.
Right.
Because I think it really, like, you're building these programs, you know, for people just to run through, and they're not keeping track of things. Because it does slow you down. Like, my app right now will slow you down a little bit in the gym to go in and plug in all that information. But I'm kind of preparing it for the day where you go to the gym and all that data is sent automatically to the application.
That's great.
Once that's ready, I think we're going to start working on maybe some smart dumbbells or something. But, I mean, the software itself has been taking me years to perfect. There's a bunch of functionality that we're building for it that's just we're still tweaking, including like we just put in workouts, but we need more like guided workouts that are, you know, showing you what to do. Right now, it's basically like a tool that allows you to build your own workout, you know?
Okay.
So I don't know. Once the software is ready, we are going to start to try to bring in more of these ideas. Obviously, the boxing gloves are kind of corner case. I really want to tackle strength training, you know, in the next 5 years.
Have you thought about mirrors? Like using a mirror, like the mirror would pick up what the person was doing? Or is that...
No, I mean, that there was some smart mirror out at one point I saw. I haven't used it, but yeah, I mean, along with the mirror would just be like video recognition, right? So I have thought that you could put sensors on the equipment, right? But I think a lot of things are moving towards video recognition. So you might just have cameras everywhere that record everything, and they use deep learning to differentiate between everything. Right. You just have to feed the deep learning machines a bunch of videos of people doing things. Like it would take thousands of videos of people doing certain workouts to teach those algorithms, you know, which is which. With Tesla and smart cars right now, they use like eight video cameras to learn how to teach this car how to drive, you know, on its own. And it just takes a lot of data to gather all that and then have, you know, the algorithms start to learn stuff. So I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be sensors on machines or if it's going to be a bunch of video recognition that differentiates. But that is something I've thought about doing. And I think we're going to start looking into it once the front end of the app is kind of complete.
Yeah, that's super cool. And I can't wait to see it and, you know, tell my clients about your app, because that's something that I think my clients could benefit from right now, even just plugging in what they're doing and stuff like that. Yeah,
you could provide them the programs, and then my app is kind of the other end of tracking all that information, right? And gathering it.
Right.
Other than that, I think we've talked about everything we need to talk about.
Yeah.
So it's been a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you for having me. And can I say follow me?
Yeah. Tell them what they do.
So our account is @waitingforwarriors. That's on Instagram. And the waiting is spelled, as Tom said, WEIGHTING. And we also have a Facebook page currently. And like I said, we're currently designing our website. But on our Instagram, our Shopify link is in our bio. So you can go check that out. The customized personal training program, that's 6 weeks, is in there. And also Homefront is in there. So yeah.
All right. And stay tuned for July when you're going to be releasing your 5 main workout plans, right?
July 4th.
And all right. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.